Dave is so slick with it, it's fucking alien, man. Yo gang, back again, oi. Now if you want to help this channel out and the content I create for you guys, head on down to the Patreon where you get early access to behind the scene vlogs, album reactions, suggested Patreon reactions, and access to exclusive podcast content. Link to the Patreon can be found in the description down below. And also on the Patreon right now is M Huncho's Chasing Euphoria album reaction. For me personally, it's album of the year so far. Trust me, you won't regret checking out the reaction. After this video has gone live, you'll find me streaming on Twitch, mashing up some Warzone with a gang. I play there with Walks, Bandwagon Bam, Cash Life Spacey, trying to get Sachi involved. And also if you play Warzone, you get the opportunity to play with myself as I play with the chat as well. And the link to the Twitch is also in the description down below. Now this one has just dropped and I said to myself, listen, I'm going to get this one done. I've reacted to my 19th birthday, which is also on the Patreon, but I might drop that here on the channel so you guys can check out my thoughts on that. And this one is Dave with my 24th birthday. It's an audio, so that slight light we got, we're gonna change it up. And so without further ado, let's get into this one.
I spent my 24th birthday with the people I love. For the diamonds, gotta see through the dust. God, I know it ain't easy to love. I just wish that Abdullah could have seen what we done. I retired my mum, moved out with my friends. That's where the problems start, that ain't where it ends.
Come on.
These single mums sacrifice it all for their kids. Stop working for they haven't got a reason to live.
I always say it, right? Dave is a artist that studies the human condition, you know? Remember the album Psychodrama? It was a therapy session. This brother is more than aware of the things that happen in this world, cause and effect, and also is able to put himself in the shoes of other people. He comes across as a very empathetic person because you need empathy for others to be able to understand others. Secondly, if you go back to my 19th birthday, Dave here sounds a hell of a lot more mature, not only in what he's saying, his vocal tone. Let's take it back.
I spent my 24th birthday with the people I love. For the diamonds, gotta see through the dust.
Okay.
God, I know it ain't easy to love. I just wish that Abdullah could have seen what we done. I retired my mum, moved out with my friends. That's where the problems start, that ain't where it ends. How many single mums sacrifice it all for their kids? Stop.
Please peep wordplay. Dave is very slick, very slick. He says he retired his mum, moved out with his friends, and the next bar finishes with ends. These are all things that we plan to do, move our mum out the ends. And also he moved out the ends with friends. Peep how slick this brother's wordplay is, like, and because he's talking so calm and relaxed, you wouldn't even deep it. You get it?
I just wish that Abdullah could have seen what we done.
Let's go.
I retired my mum, moved out with my friends. That's where the problems start, that ain't where it ends. How many single mums sacrifice it all for their kids? Stop working for they haven't got a reason to live. I believe that.
Come on. This is what I'm talking about, that relatability. Like, if you've ever been in a single parent household, you can relate to what Dave just said there. Listen, I'm gonna stop wheeling this thing because I'll wheel this thing every friggin' 2 seconds, man.
Dust. God, I know it ain't easy to love. I just wish that Abdullah could have seen what we done.
Let's go.
I retired my mum, moved out with my friends.
Okay.
That's where the problems start, that ain't where it ends. How many single mums sacrifice it all for their kids? Stop working for they haven't got a reason to live. I believe that God fed the 5,000 with the bread and the fish. Cause I see mummy do some similar things. It can help you or harm you, depends on how you're using a rope. How are we in the wrong for supplying drugs? The government's the reason that we use them to cope. I made friends with.
This is what I mean why Dave is one of my favorite artists. Like, he doesn't just drop double entendres, he drops societal conundrums, actual problems within the world that we live in. He's explained to us about how a lot of us come up under a single mother and the struggle puts on her, and also the child has to observe his mother going through. And then he talks about helping us or harming us, and then goes to drugs, talking about how we use drugs to cope. And so far he hasn't expounded on how we use drugs to cope. Some people can go through that situation and end up taking drugs, and some people can also go through that situation and end up selling drugs, using the money to cope. Dave is so slick with it, it's fucking alien, man.
Things. It can help you or harm you, depends on how you're using a rope. How are we in the wrong for supplying drugs? The government's the reason that we use them to cope. I made friends with a flame and I'm used to the smoke. When we never had a thing, we still split in half. It's the people with the least that got the biggest hearts, one of a kind. true love, it ain't just something you find. A good girl, it ain't just something you find. I get along with gold diggers and that's something I find. But it's probably car now, I got more money than time. My friends say they worry about me, I just tell them I'm fine. I took a look in the mirror and now I wish I was blind. She the love of my life, or in love with a life.
Yo, in other words, he had to look at himself, and he wished he was blind because he sees things he wished he didn't see, you know what I mean, about his own self. Are you crazy? Who's rapping like that? Ah, mate.
I get along with gold diggers and that's something I find. But it's probably car now, I got more money than time. My friends say they worry about me, I just tell them I'm fine. I took a look in the mirror and now I wish I was blind. She the love of my life, or in love with a life. Backstabber, see the blood on your knife. My mum covered me in blood, but it was
Yo.
Probably car now, I got more money than time. My friends say they worry about me, I just tell them I'm fine. I took a look in the mirror and now I wish I was blind. She the love of my life, or in love with a life. Backstabber, see the blood on your knife. My mum covered me in blood, but it was coming from Christ. This Serrano on the rocks, I pour double with ice. I take trips to wind down, I ain't reading at night. The only time I touch books when I'm seeking a flight. Can you hear me? Let me speak in the mic. God, I know I ain't easy to like, but still I'm seeking a light. I spent $250,000 on renovating my house, and couldn't even live in it cause they was staking it out. Tracker in my car, felt like 007, whipped the Aston out of park. I knew his energy was dark. Living out the Corinthia, didn't even have a yard. But that's where I met my teacher and I learned to play guitar. Guess it's written in the stars, life comes at you fast. Squeeze the Eurus in a convoy of cars. We got it on us, you ain't even gotta ask. Don't trouble us, fame comes quicker than money does.
That's what I'm saying. Dave is an artist that walks that duality so well. As he himself has mentioned, light. He walks that duality of dark and light, innit? In all of this stuff he's saying and talking about meeting, I do believe, a guitar teacher. He then says, we still got that thing on us. You know what I mean?
I'm in pink suit, I'm like De Niro in Casino. Life gave me lemons, I gave you a Branzino when I seasoned it. Me and Drake were in the private room reasoning. He's always been there when I needed him. Listen, I'm the reason why your dream girls will wiggle their asses. Drink wine but don't finish their glasses. Snap pics in Bahamas. Sniper, do it in silence. I ain't in all the drama. In this town I got the crown but I ain't been in the plaza. Fucking crosses. Teams on conspiracy charges. Gardens laid out in Astro. I ain't dealing with grasses. Fuck a snitch. Got my guys remanded. Life of an artist. Pretty women, AAA passes. Slim, thick, skin slick. I mean it's coming like it's oil she barfing. See the harvest, see the seeds I planted. There's a drought in the ends. I'm in Cali with a ting. I'll end up posting a pack like I was snapping in the gym. Gemma records, you can bang it on the wing. I lost friends, but it's my innocence I miss. I guess ignorance is bliss. I ain't bragging, only rap about a fraction of my sins. My young G's don't count as stabbing if it happened in his limbs. The world is my fucking office. Book her a trip to the tropics. I'm feeling philanthropic, nigga. That's a different topic. The GMT and
yo, book her a trip to the tropics. I'm feeling philanthropic. Yo, you know what philanthropists do? They give back. Dave, you're cheeky, you know. Man's equating flying her out to the tropics to being philanthropic, like helping people out. But you know why man them fly gal out to the tropics, innit? Such a greasy bar, innit? There's still self-interest in it. You feel me? Dave is different, man. Swaggy different.
My young G's don't count as stabbing if it happened in his limbs. The world is my fucking office. Book her a trip to the tropics. I'm feeling philanthropic, nigga. That's a different topic. The GMT and EST, they're gonna think I'm foreign, different time zones, and that's the way I gotta pick my watches, Stratton Velvet. You can say I live in Gotham, where I take the Birkin and I kill a Crockett. You can see the little locket. Bro, it ain't no wonder why she finna top it. Look, I ain't a striker, I'm a camber cast in the pockets. Tell him to miss me. Never signed a deal, you niggas hating on history, and I took the ends with me. That 8-figure check wasn't enough.
You can't tell man that. Well, he's right. He is right. Like, you're hating on history because Dave has definitely made history. Like, when everything's said and done, Dave's name will be remembered. You feel me? But do you have to tell them like that though? You get it?
Killer Crockett, you can see the little locket. Bro, it ain't no wonder why she finna top it. Look, I ain't a striker, I'm a camber cast in the pockets. Tell him to miss me. Never signed a deal, you niggas hating on history, and I took the ends with me. That 8-figure check wasn't enough to convince me, but that's the only time I turned my back on the 16. Life is a game, you can't play it in split screen. God hasn't given me a test I couldn't handle yet. I don't even bother trying to match it when the something money can't buy.
Yo, man said, I don't even try and match it when the scammers flex. Like he's on something else. That real confidence that I don't got a show to prove. You get it?
Next ambidex, problems coming at me from the right and left. Love is dead enough,
man said next ambidex. Oi! Hold on.
Yeah, I don't even bother trying to match it when the scammers flex. Give us something money can't buy, and that's the challenge. Next ambidex, problems coming at me from the right and left.
Did he say next or next ambidex? Next ambidex, problems coming at me from the right and left. Like, okay.
Screen. God hasn't given me a test I couldn't handle yet. I don't even bother trying to match it when the scammers flex. Give us something money can't buy, and that's the challenge. Next ambidex, problems coming at me from the right and left. Love is dead enough, gal are doing the most. If you're talking engagement, it's probably to do with a post. I'm at that age where everybody's getting married or having kids. Feel like it happened quick. Commitment's hella pressure, there's enough of that as it is. Can't make the same mistakes that my daddy did, cause I know what the damage did. How you raise a life and you haven't lived, but what's living? Is it clubbing and banging chicks or planning trips or some sort of pleasure I haven't managed to factor in? I guess I'll let you know when the stats are in. Your friends get busy, the cracks start showing, and that's when the distance in between us starts growing.
Hey, you see that? He's talking about real life. The life for the average person is what he just described. Your friends get busy. You can't be around each other like you used to be because everybody's trying to take care and manage responsibilities at this point. It's that change, innit?
Just wanted it more. I think this money's exposed my flaws. The clean hearted find it harder for sure. See, most people that are wealthy, they ain't good in their core. You either rich off a talent or exploiting the poor. I'm 24 and an adult in the eyes of the law, but still a baby in the eyes of the Lord. You see, the Bible's my sword and the word is my shield.
Come on.
Prayed for me, I cried. It sharpened my steel, but that's my brother for real. Me and mommy saw the world, man. She couldn't.
Did man say storms? Hold on. Did man say storms? Did we get a little bit of stormsy?
People that are wealthy, they ain't good in their core. You either rich off a talent or exploiting the poor. I'm 24 and an adult in the eyes of the law, but still a baby in the eyes of the Lord. You see, the Bible's my sword and the word is my shield. Storms prayed for me, I cried. It sharpened my steel, but that's my brother for real. Me and mommy saw.
That's real talk, you know. Anybody that'll pray for you, that's a spiritual thing. You get it? It's something different. So I understand why Dave would respect that. You get it? Because not people will say to you that they care for you, but how many will pray for you? You know them ones there. Come on.
For the world, man, she couldn't believe it. And to this day, that's my biggest achievement. Did 27 countries in under 9 months. So when the Most High says my time's up, just tell him that I tried. And I ain't never switched sides. I did it for you and I, 16 till I die.
Oi. Let's go. Please, Dave, rap on it. Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave. We need some bars. You know Dave will be getting wicked on this. He's just flexing as a producer right now, innit? Santan's in his bag. Fucking hell, man. Dave never fails, man. He never fails, man. He's just a different sort of human, man. Different. Listen, Dave's an incredible artist. That I said, this brother has the ability to tap into the average person's experience and verbalize it so well. He's not only articulate, he raps with what I believe is a level of sophistication and elegance, which is something you don't often associate with street rappers. In his delivery and the way he said things, he's kept things rather calm, clean and simple, but the content The wordplay and the mind of Dave is what is so fascinating to many of us fans alike. The way this guy thinks is unlike any other artist I've come across. His knowledge of the human experience, blending those with relatable things in popular culture. When he mentions feeding the 5,000, which is a story from the Bible that people who don't even go to church know. Like with Dave, you have to kind of sit down and talk about nuance. You know what I mean? Like subtle wordplay, or in the way he conveys the energy and moods of the people he's talking about. I mean, you actually have to deep how deep someone praying for you is. And when you actually understand that, it allows you to connect to this rhythm even more so on an emotional level. Artists that are able to trigger your emotions are the best fucking artists. And Dave is a fucking master at that in a very subtle yet kind of direct way. In the melody and the beat he uses, tones in his vocals, and his very real subject matter being real life. This brother is a once in a lifetime artist, and my 24th birthday fucking hell was a gift to us all. If it's Dave's birthday and he's watching this, happy birthday my bro. Wish you more life, more blessings, and bless us with more music please. Listen, let me know what you thought of this one in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys down there. Yo gang, it's your boy LeeToTheVI saying peace and love, and I'm out. Bow.